to pray. There's no angels where I go, only pieces that are broken, scattered dreams across the floor. I'm home.
Alrighty, hello everybody. This is Kirusho here. Now, let us begin. Whenever we last left off, Midoriya, he had just been told by Rachel Gould that he needs to listen very, very carefully. As Rachel Gould would say the next following words: "You are going to listen to me. Listen to every single thing I say. After all, your file did say that you were just like Batman. You two relate far too much. Except you are more compassionate than him, and you are less tactical. You're powerful, but less tactical. So much training, yet you don't even use it. You've barely been using it this last year. And all the time you've been here, you could have become one of my generals at this point. You failed quite a lot of these tests I've wanted to put you through. Sadly, somehow you still stuck to being yourself." As Midoriya just thinks, if Rachel Gould gets any closer, he can probably bite his nose off. That would be pretty funny. As Rachel Gould would then just say, "That girl over there has a bomb in her chest." Midoriya's thoughts changing for a minute. His eyes turning back to Jiro and then looking back at Rachel Gould. As he would then say that he could set the bomb off at any time, if he wants to. Keep that in mind. Along with that, your beloved is at least going to be useful. You and her are going to be sparring for a minute, I guess you can say. You and her are going to fight. Hopefully this will reawaken those rings so you can use them. I've been too soft on you. In fact, so has Deathstroke, the man that you think is your grandfather. Midoriya is looking back at him, confused for a second, saying that man is not your grandfather. He trained you for about a year, or a couple, it does not matter. He sees you as nothing more than a student. You were never even related to the man. In fact, how about I just bring your parents' heads straight to you, just so you can finally see them with your own eyes. Trying to piss Midoriya off. As Jiro would just state, she'll do anything he wants. Just stop. Now, Rachel Gould understands that, and he knows that. Telling his guards to take off his restraints, and to let the boy stand. Them doing so. As soon as Midoriya stands up, he would just immediately drop down to his knees. And look down, feeling shame. Unsure as to what to even do about this. All the training he's been through and everything he's tried doing. He did what Rachel Gould wanted to make sure that the League would survive. To make sure that they can go on with their plans. And what happened? Apparently he knew those people. They were his friends. They were some of his loved ones, weren't they? I can't even remember them. Midoriya at least beginning to tear up. And Rachel Gould actually bending down and looking at him. Ah, so, there is at least a shred of humanity in there. And here I thought you were a complete monster. Midoriya just looking up at him and asking him what does he want. Rachel Gould then saying that it's going to be quite simple. You are going to finish what you started. Except for the villains. The ones you're going to be going after are going to be simple, plain and easy. With your rings, both of you will take them down and kill them. Now, that would be whenever a metal box would be handed over to Ra's al Ghul, and he would just open it and throw the rings down to the ground. Midori hearing them clank and clatter. There is his yellow ring, the one he used. That being the first one he picks up. Then the green, then the ultraviolet ring. Slipping the two on as he basically does at least use two of these powers. Whenever he does slip on the green ring though, nothing happens. Confused. Now, let us cut back out into space with the ultraviolet power. They have been wandering this dark quadrants, this dark galaxy. This ultraviolet power does feel something. It feels something familiar, looking off in a direction, and thinking, what is that? Feeling it, wanting to know it. That isn't possible. As he does actually need to head that way. Now, let's come back over to Earth. Back in Coast City. Midoriya's soul, at least, is looking around. And is at least looking in the direction of that feeling. What is that? Is that my... I don't think so. As Midoriya just walks forwards. Going back to the edge of the city and at least throwing his hand out. Thinking. You need to find me. Please. Without me, you're... As Midoriya's body would just hear one word. Nothing. Him just turning around. Seeing nothing behind him. What was that? Did you hear something? No. I had a feeling. Ah. Well then. As you just hand over one simple thing. A bracelet. Putting it onto Midoriya's hand and telling him that this will track him. It will track him, and if he does anything wrong, she goes boom. Now, your mission is to kill everyone. Kill all the villains. In fact, start with Batman's Rogue Gallery. Go after the Penguin, Two-Face, the Joker. Midoriya at least recognizing those names, feeling them in his head. As he would just ask, why them? Well, the Joker is a madman. And if he does try and find me, there is no telling what he would do, especially with access to immortality. That man would probably disappear for a few generations, and mess with the next Batman that pops up, the next hero. Hell, I'm not too sure what he would do with it, which frightens me. And the reason why I use the pit is to come back every time I die. What else would you use it for? Answer me that, child. I can think of a few ideas. Oh, what is it? Curing diseases, curing illnesses, ailments. It does not matter. Those are temporary fixes. They will come back. Midori just saying that might be true. But even then, they do sound useful. They can at least stall before they find the right cure. The right cure. I doubt that. Now, as Ra's al Ghul would just say, you have your orders. follow them. Turning around, Midoriya looking up and wanting to throw out his hand, wanting to throw out a blast. As soon as he would, he knows it would blow her up. As these two would just step out, going out in the sunlight. As they would just go on saying, well, Jiro would just go on saying that this is a bit odd. And, well, you do remember me, right? Midoriya just looking at her. Seeing a flash from memory, then just looking away. No. That split-second flash Jiro saw in his face. She knows there's something there. She saw his face go from that stern look to at least a bit of a happiness. She saw it in his eyes. They looked pure innocent. Before they would have gone back to at least looking forwards, away from her. And she does actually ask him a question. Why does he still have the green ring? It's powerless. What are you talking about? This thing's never worked. Well, of course it doesn't work. Whenever you died, Midoriya's looking back at her, asking exactly how did he die? You gave up your life for mine. Okay. That doesn't sound like me. Well, you aren't you right now. Fair point. It's still fuzzy. Do you know where I even died at? The place it's called? Well, it's a hard explanation. Long and short of it, the place is called Coast City. How you died was finding a man named Mongol. Midoriya just having his entire body run cold. His blood runs cold. It feels like it froze in place. As he would just do one thing. He would grab Batman's cowl and pull it over his head, saying, "Fine. Anyway, let's go." Him just taking off into the air. Her following after him. As they begin to fly, Midoriya just asking her a question. As the two are flying towards Gotham. Exactly, is there any way to recharge this thing if it doesn't work? Well, it's easy. You need to, well, I'd say call your lantern. How do I do that? Well, you just got to order your ring to turn on. It should manifest. Well, anyways, I don't think that's gonna work. Yeah, I can still give it a shot, but I just don't think it's gonna work. As the two would stop flying. As soon as they do, they're hovering straight over the ocean. The thing on Midoriya's wrist beginning to beep. And it would just begin saying that you two stopped. What are you doing? Well, right now I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this green ring. There might be a way we can repower it. We'll make it fast. You don't have a lot of time. Pretty soon, people are going to start wondering what's going on with the heroes. Rumors are starting to spread, and if they're told to be dead soon, then things are going to be getting a lot more iffy. Especially since Superman might be listening. Oh, please. That boy is not Superman. If he was, he would have been on you guys in less than a minute. Well, Midoriya is sliding on the Green Lantern ring and beginning to try and use it. As soon as he does actually bring his hand up, he feels familiarity. He feels somewhat at ease with this. As nothing happens. Midoriya just saying it there. It didn't work. Well, why does yours work? Well, to be fair, a guardian of the universe. What? The people who created the rings, they gave this one directly to me. He said that it was self-powering. So you can recharge my ring then. Her kinda confused. Midoriya asking her to hold out her hands. Her doing so. Midoriya bringing up his ring and telling her to just charge some power into this. You might jumpstart it like an old engine. How do you even... I have no idea. Anyways, as you just flood some power into the ring. Midoriya's ring at least turning on, and saying willpower at 47%. Welcome, Green Lantern, Izuku Midoriya. So, I'm Izuku Midoriya. Yes, you are, now let's get going. We need to hurry. The two flying off, heading to Gotham. They need to find the villains, but how are they going to do so? That being whenever there is at least one idea. Midoriya flying to a news station, smashing straight through the wall as he would just walk in. He is wearing the Batman outfits, as he would then go on saying that, now, listen to me everyone. Sorry to interrupt your little broadcast, but I do need to speak with some people. Joker, Two-Face, Clayface, Mr. Freeze, Penguin, all of you, meet me at Gotham Central. Or how about the police station? I believe I can butcher enough cops before you do arrive. So listen, this is a warning. Meet me there, otherwise I tear the city into pieces, and violently hunt all of you down. I am capable of it. Midoriya just floating outside. And Joe asking exactly what was that. I had to get their attention. Well, you could have been a bit more, yeah, whatever. As they would fly directly towards the police station. A lot of the police officers do at least stand their ground, staring straight at Midoriya as he walks in. Guns drawn. Midoriya just throwing up a shield and walking in. The officers firing upon him, trying to hit him. Nothing happening to these two. As you do have one officer walk in, walk forwards and tell him that he is not Batman. He has met Batman, and he does not. Midoriya just bringing back his hand and smashing the officer across the face. Telling him now he does. In fact, things are changing around here. Now, once again, all of you leave or die. What is your choice? A lot of officers just not saying a word. Midoriya at least beginning to do something. Holding up his hands and starting to create constructs. He creates blunt weapons, then swords, then at least spikes. Thinking, some of these will work, some of these will not. As he does begin to make a mix of all three. And then, watching as quite a lot of police officers do make their way to the exits. That being whenever, there is another problem. The supervillains do arrive, and it is announced that they are here. So what are your plans for Gotham? The Penguin would just say. Midoriya telling him that his plans are quite simple. They're going to be changing things up. The Joker walking forward and is saying that this is going to be quite fun. In fact, with the new bats on my side, I think we can do anything. So, what are your orders, boss? The Joker bending down. And he's thinking. He can play this guy for a sucker, and then kill him. Take those things off of his hands, and have quite a bit of fun with them. So, this is going to be really easy. Midoriya just walking forwards. Now, Midoriya is walking straight up to the Joker, thinking, let's see, weapons. So many to choose from. Guns, no. A giant anvil, that would be funny, but no. Let's see, more and more. A crowbar, oddly specific, but no. Blades. No, how about something else? The Batman and Midoriya telling him just to use his bare hands. Kill the Joker and snap his damn neck. Just to see what would happen. See how far he can make it go before it stops. And comes off of his body. Midoriya right in front of the Joker. 3 steps away as he does actually hold out his hands. As soon as he holds out his hand though, the wall would burst open. And one thing would happen. Everyone gets sent flying with an explosion. And one Midoriya would stand back up. Looking in that direction as he actually does begin to blast constructs that way. Bullets and missiles flying straight throughout the mist. As he is confused. Now, with that happening, he would immediately just create constructs in front of him, blocking and deflecting everything. Looking to see what that was. Seeing a bat plane. That's confusing. He killed Batman. Or did he? He's guessing this is just some knockoff. As he just throws out his hand, creating chains that form the blades around him. As they just head straight for the plane, going to split directly into 2. As soon as they do, the bat plane does at least move to the right, cutting off the right ring as it does fall down onto the ground, and begin to fire the machine guns. Midoriya just walking up to it, and blocking all the bullets, while Jiro is just staring at the situation, looking at Midoriya work. He's working as if he just didn't leave being a hero. Deciding to step in, telling the villains that they will deal with this later. For right now, let's handle this. All that at least saying right, and focusing their attention to Batman. The new one. The one that just popped in. Midoriya just throwing out the chains, turning them into blades and cutting off the other wing. Now, as he does walk forwards, he actually does look straight at the cockpits. He can't see inside. As he does actually cock back his arms, beginning to create constructs and just starting to smash into them, trying to bust through the glass. Telling Batman to come out and play. He is going to make this really, as an arm bursts straight through the actual glass, and grabs Midoriya by his throat. Midoriya, confused as he does look down, as his hand follows this black, arm. This thing is huge, as one thing does step out of the actual bat plane. This being the Hell Bat suit. Now, Midoriya is in complete shock at how big this thing is, and exactly what is going to happen to him next, as it simply just throws him aside as if he is nothing. Now, with that being said, I do believe that I can leave that off here, and I do hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry again for the cliffhanger ending, But if I try and record any more, I'm just going to be delayed even again. I've tried recording for the past 2 hours. Our neighbors partying. Then there being street racers driving by. A lot. And I mean a lot. Anyway, guys, I do hope you enjoyed, and have an amazing night.